We are just about getting started. It's now exactly 1 p.m. here in the sunny Hamburg. So we'll just give it 1 minute or so to wait until everybody else has a chance to log in. We'll give it another minute or so, Cedric.
Yeah, sure.
How was Paris today?
Raining as usual.
Ah.
Yeah, it will be a rainy summer.
In the meantime, everybody, we always love, this is a little game I play, to hear where you're all dialing in from and what the weather is from where you are. Just please put that in the chat. I'm based in Hamburg, Germany, and it's beautifully sunny, yet cold. It's a little game that we play, seeing if we can get every continent in. There's usually one continent missing.
This is when I will get jealous, actually, because in Paris it's not the best.
Okay, we got Sylvia from Belgium. Unsurprisingly very rainy. Scotland. Oh, Scotland is sunny. Hey, Fiona, nice to see you again. Portugal. Oh, God, I know Desmarta is already ruining the mood for us in the rain. Hello, Chris, New York. Nice to see you. Okay, we got Japan. Maya, thank you very much for being the first one from the other side of the world. That's good. So we got the US, Europe, all of Europe, in fact, and Japan right now. And anybody else from Asia, Australia, or Africa? We'll give it 1 more minute and then we kick it off, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, thank God, Senegal has rescued us. Hello, Simon. Nice to see you. All right. Southeast Asia seems to be quiet. It's probably late there right now. Shall we kick it off, Cedric?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Let's kick this off. Wonderful. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are based, to a slightly different Amsterdam webinar. The rules for this webinar are pretty much the same. However, we are trying to keep the slides as short as possible so that we can get to the questions, answers, and discussions as soon as possible, which is mostly the most important and most interesting part. This session will be recorded, and my wonderful colleague Jonathan, also here, will be distributing the slides to everybody who signs in. Jonathan, what do you say? Usually within 24 hours or something like this?
Absolutely 24 hours max.
Ah, perfect. Thank you very much. Any questions? We find it quite hard to manage questions when they're just in the chat, so please use the Q&A function. The slides are not copyrighted. Feel free to. Our mission at Amsterdam International is to build better NGOs and build better non-profit organizations. And so if you find those useful in meetings or with friends or colleagues, feel free to ask for the slides from Jonathan or me or Cedric, and we will gladly send them to you, and you can use, change, amend them as you wish. There we go. Without much ado, let's kick it off. I'll just start with a brief introduction. In case you don't know me, my name is Chris. I'm the Managing Director and founder of Amsterdam International. I'm joined here today by my wonderful colleagues Cedric with our sister organization Human Planet, and Jonathan, who I think you all know from the various comms efforts here. Cedric, Jonathan, would you like to briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So quickly on my side, very happy to be on this webinar to meet everyone and to share a bit more about AI. So myself, I'm Cedric. I'm based out of Paris. It's actually a small village very close to Paris where it was raining, but I don't know if you can see on my background, it's actually getting more sunny. So maybe link to the webinar. So I'm actually part of Human Planet, which is a sister company of MZN, as you might have seen in the news recently. We are part of the same group.
Yep.
And I'm actually specialized in impact investment principal at Human Planet, and also having a second hat in tech, having launched a startup previously in climate tech, which is actually in Singapore. So happy to be here today. Jonathan, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Absolutely, Cedric. I'm Jonathan. I'm currently based in Kigali, Rwanda, originally from West Africa, Liberia, and I head the comms and marketing team at MZN and that of Human Planet as well. Cedric, back to you, Chris.
Fantastic. All right, let's get started. I want to talk about today, and all of us want to talk today about something that's already transforming how we work. It is doing so at a reckless speed. I've not seen anything, any other technology, any other idea transform our work of world and the world of our work as fast as this one. We're talking here about AI agents and the powerful role that they can play in amplifying the impact we have as an NGO. So before I hand over to my colleague Cedric, I just want to be very clear. They are not futuristic. They are here right now. We're talking about grant writing assistants, specific assistants, not the general AI that you know from ChatGPT, grant writing assistants that draft proposals pretty much overnight. Research assistants that continuously find the right donor to fit in a matter of seconds, or field support bots that flag risks and using real-time project data. All these things are not only possible, they are being built and constantly improved upon right now. So they are enabling even a small NGO to operate with immensely agility and insight that was and knowledge that was once reserved for far larger players. It really levels the playing field. And I'm hoping personally that this will make localization real strides in it. But the real story about AI agents really isn't about efficiency, it's about impact. The most amazing technology is useless if it does, or at least useless to us, if it doesn't provide positive impact upon the world. So whilst they allow us to localize a response more accurately and act upon the voices of communities more locally, we need to structure them properly. And that's a responsibility we all share. At the moment, MZN is investing heavily into AI agents, customizing them, designing them for proposal writing purposes, funding research, operational reviews, program management, and all this sort of stuff. We will be releasing them as over summer, one by one, once the product has gone through beta testing. Hopefully with our friends, some of them presented here, we can beta test them together. And then you will be able to sign up for them. The idea for us internally here at MZN is also to lower the price of good professional advice, funding reach, and operational and strategic advice to a point where everybody can afford them, much more than that of a traditional consultants, where there is which are simply too expensive for many smaller organizations. So AI isn't the goal, a better world is. And I don't think we should treat AI agents as shortcuts, but as more like a partner in our mission. So we need to, as with everything, we need to lead here with purpose. We need to design these things with great care, and we need to stay very focused on the impact that we are having and that we can have with AI agents. And with that, I'm handing this over to Cedric, who will take us through the quite interesting and amazing things we can do here. Cedric, over to you.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Chris. And again, very happy to be here to share what we are working on. And I think maybe to take a step back also on what you were saying, Chris, on the moment we are in right now. I think there is, there have been some challenges in the world of NGO and the humanitarian space, broadly speaking, with the reduction of some budgets in Europe, in US, and these types of challenges. And on the other side, there is quite some good opportunity, and I would say some good news with the recent developments of AI, which actually enable NGOs or non-profit organizations to bootstrap even more, to use their budget more efficiently, to be more productive, and to be actually to have AI doing some work while they can focus on delivering impact and also direct their resources to deliver impact. So these are very exciting times. We actually realized when we are using AI for us at MZN and Human Planet that there is today a gap because the AI developers are much more focused on corporates, individuals, and there
Really
is
are.
no tailored product or offering for NGOs and nonprofits. And I think the advantage that why we want to be involved is that within MZN and also Human Planet as well, there is actually a knowledge and capabilities which are in-house that we have. And the AI, if you don't provide, knowledge to the AI or things to learn, they will deliver something which is not tailored. So this is what we realized. And after we said like, okay, let's do it internally and let's actually try to share it with the community so that everyone can use it.
Yeah.
So the idea of this webinar right now is actually one is to explain, broadly speaking, very quickly about AI agents, if not everyone is familiar in the audience, and after to show a quick demo of the product that we are currently launching. It's only a few weeks old product, so it's very nascent, but we wanted to share some of the features of one of the agents that we are building. Right now, we are actually prioritizing several schemes, including fundraising, content writing, impact monitoring, and research. So these are the thematics where we see there is quite some good opportunity for NGOs. And I wanted to start actually to explain the difference between generative AI and agentic AI, because I think this is a key point, and 2025 is really a turning point in AI. So if not everyone is familiar, Gen AI is actually what we are used to with GPT, which means you ask a question, the AI will find the answer, right? So it's quite a straightforward model with an input, the model which is working, and providing an output. The difference with AI agents is that it still works on the model that you can see on the top, below on the left. But in addition to this, it will be able to act, to make decisions, and to reason. So the agent will follow instructions, which is a prompt that will be given by us. It will use the machine learning and tools and memory to be able to take decisions. So when I say tools, it can be softwares, it can be your calendar, it can be minutes from a meeting, it can be the HR software that you have, it can be anything. And it will also have memory so that it can remember what has been done, take action, learn, and deliver outputs, and several outputs. So this is actually the key thing for us. And that means for, as an organization, you can actually use AI agents a bit like digital teammates who would actually work with you, support you in the task, and deliver the results, while you can focus more on the core mission of your organization and on delivering the impact. So it's really, yes, Chris, you want to add anything?
Well, I didn't say. Yeah, I just wanted to sort of highlight to everybody who may not be familiar with it just yet, is that unlike general AI, which like ChatGPT or the image creators that you've seen around the world, they don't just create something and disappear. They are designed to stay and do something. So like you say, Cedric, they are more like your digital colleagues. They're your smart assistants that you can give a task to. They have triggers to continuously work without human input as well. They can like find the latest funding call once you've set them on the task to do that. Once you design them well, that's not easily done, by the way. So where I think the one way that I understood the difference between Gen AI and AI agents is that generative AI gives me answers, and an AI agent gets things done. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes, yes, exactly. So the AI agent will actually deliver based on instructions a specific task, and the beauty of it is that it will actually be able to adapt and to really understand the context and adapt based on the context, which can be changing. Yeah.
Great. Okay, that makes sense.
Perfect. So what we can do actually, so we have a few slides in addition, but I think the best is to show a bit what we have been working on with a specific example, so that everyone can realize what it can do. And what I will do right now is to show a specific agent that is currently so work in progress, which is Elan, the fundraising officer. And I think by giving a specific example of what AI can do, it will actually shed some more lights on the capabilities. So I will share my screen. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Okay.
You can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is actually okay, and to share a few things as well, this is actually the website that we are that we will launch very soon to access the agent. So here, what we will do, Jonathan, when you have the link, if we can share we have a wait list. We'll share the link in the chat so that everyone can share join the wait list. And this will be actually the website to have access to the agents. Right now we have 4 agents, but within the team we already have ideas for at least 10, 15 agents, which we will be working on. So let me show you quickly the fundraising officer, which is still work in progress. So I will also explain what are the limitations right now and what will be in the next iteration. But typically, this is Elan, the fundraising officer, and Elan can do a few things. So what Elan will do is that, first of all, the agent will know about the organization. So we have, when there is an onboarding, so here we had to take a specific example, Save the Children, so that it can actually process. But when you do the onboarding, you will fill in information about the organization, the name, the country, a quick description, geographies, websites, social media, etc., etc., which is one. And also, there will be also a fundraising profile where the organization will actually share if there is a fundraising going on, what type of resource we want to fundraise, what have been the successful projects in the past, what is the timeline, etc., etc. So all this information is shared with the officer, and the officer will actually analyze all the information, and in addition to this, scrub the web, LinkedIn, everything to be able to capture as much information as we can. And based on this information, the fundraising officer has access to a few tools and knowledge that will be used. So the first one is actually to do a fundraising strategy and a mapping of potential funders, and to deliver a report that we have here that can also be in PDF, for instance, right here. Still work in progress, just to share with everyone. But typically, the report will include the fundraising objectives, which have been shared by the organization, for instance, and more importantly, it will provide some information about the landscape. What is the current financial landscape? A quick analysis of the funding today, and it will identify potential prospects for fundraising. For the objective of this demo, we have put like very broad names here that are quite familiar to everyone. But actually, the agent will have access to our own knowledge and information outside. So the agent will actually be able to really screen the current market and pick up opportunities, grant opportunities, and identify based on your profile, based on the current market condition and the opportunities out there, which is what are the top funders to reach out to.
So, Cedric, in a nutshell, for those non-techies around us, we are
Yes,
loading up
exactly.
the agent with information,
Yeah.
and it then tailors what we ask it to do. Would that be a good summary for dummies?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sorry if I'm too technical.
No, it's okay. You're deep in
That's-
it. It's getting clear that you're very deeply in it. But I think the point here to take away is just to reiterate and to reinforce what my colleague is saying is that the AI agent, unlike generative AI, is here to do things. And we're obviously very busy and investing lots of time right now to design, in this case, a fundraising agent, but we also will do other agents to do things, and we will test them out with individuals. If your organization is interested in becoming a beta tester, so have a test on the organization and give us feedback on your reports, then please let us know. We would love to improve it before we finally release it.
Yes, exactly. So I think it's one of the key points also for today. So we currently have these agents coming up. We will have a first batch of users which will be willing to test, to give us feedback, to be like the early users within the community. So if you are interested to know more, if you're interested to test and to give us feedback, please join the waitlist as well and reach out to us. We can also mention it in the chat. We'd be happy to continue. And after, so this is one feature, but you can have many features actually. So one other feature is like the priority donors that we see here, and we can also have templates, of emails that are automatically generated or potential strategy to engage with them. So this is one example.
Yeah. And by the way, we have not linked this particular one yet to the MZN contact database.
Yeah.
We'll do that, of course, as well. So the hope is that we can then share the relevant contacts with all users of the AI agent.
Yes, exactly. And I think it's really why actually because the agents, there will be many agents, I think, in the coming months in the industry. But the reason why we are actually spending a lot of time to design a product for the community is that within NZN, there is 15 years of experience, a huge community in this space. So there is internal knowledge and a history and understanding of the network, which is quite rare. So by feeding in the agents and the AI with this knowledge and these capabilities, it becomes actually quite interesting for NGOs. And actually, I think it will be quite unique and different compared to what will happen in the market. So that's why today we are actually investing quite a lot of time on this, because it's really it will be quite unique in the end.
I want to say one more thing, one that is exciting and one that limits everybody. And Cedric, please disagree with me if you want to. Number one, we obviously are talking daily to various donor agencies around the world, and some of them, I've mentioned about this, are actually very keen for us to load their strategies into the tool, so to teach Ellen, sorry, Cedric, I'm not sure, Ellen 1.0 about their strategic tools, so that it informs users who want to apply for it straight away with their strategy. That makes sense because the donor gets more qualified in queries. On the other hand, it's got to be said, the technology is evolving super rapidly, but it's still a technology and not a individual. And the biggest constraint that I find in testing this so far is that the AI agent cannot yet, only knows what we tell it to know. It cannot yet make a decision on what's important, relevant, and what is not so well as a human can, because we simply have more corresponding knowledge. I am sure once we get to Ellen 2.0, we get smarter, and at 3.0, I would dare that it's smarter than any human at this point. But for a large organization with multi-country programs, with strategies inserted that need to develop medium to long-term strategies, it will likely end up being a combination of human funding advisors for example, from our friends Momentum or from ourselves, and powered by agents that we design, like the one Cedric is showing here. The problem here is that smaller organizations can't afford consultants. Now, if we were a commercial consultant, we would just say, tough, so be it, that's not our business. But we are a social enterprise and we want to build better NGOs. And we want to, equip everybody to be able to secure the funding they want. I'm frankly sick and tired of great impact deliverers and awesome NGOs stopping in their tracks just because they can't find the funding, especially when there is lots of funding out there, maybe in different forms than you know. So that's the purpose. Just bring it back down to where it is. That's the purpose of designing a tool that is cheap enough for everybody to use to get a degree of fundraising strategy, resources, and search capacity. Is that right, Cedric?
Yeah, no, definitely. This is really I mean, what is driving us today, it's really to deliver something that can make a change in the community. And really, even myself, I've been an entrepreneur and I have launched, so it's not an NGO. I've been involved in NGOs actually, but a startup, and I know the feeling when you actually want to work a lot to deliver like a lot of progress, but you have a gap between yourself and what there is in the market, and you have to go through consultants, or you have to go through different services where it remains in the end very costly. And even if you get these services, sometimes it's not like you don't get everything you wanted. So here, the idea is actually even for the small organizations to have the tools that give access to the knowledge and that give access to the services. So it's kind of democratization of NGO services. It won't be, of course, the same as if you hire like a big four consultant who will manage like a team of 10 persons for one project, but it will really do a lot compared to the budget that you will allocate for it. And again, because we will include our network knowledge, and the market is moving quite rapidly, so we'll have actually access instantly to the knowledge and to these functions.
Yeah.
That's really the idea, what is driving us here.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. Thanks, Cedric. Is there any other side of this slide that you want to focus on?
So let me check. I think on the agenda that's it for now. The idea that we have, it would be to have a subscription model, quite very low to be affordable for everyone to get access to the agents. We are still working on it. But yeah, again, if anyone wants to join the waitlist or to join us as early users, super happy to have anyone joining. And after we have a few slides, so maybe I can go quickly through the slides and we do, and I don't know if we have any questions in the.
No, it's a small group today, which is funny. I think it's a holiday here, holiday week as well in Europe. But let's go through the rest and then we can email the slides out as well.
Yeah, perfect. So where it fits for the NGOs, as we mentioned before, so one is so on the fundraising side, on the monitoring side, program delivery, there is communication, for social media writing and communication strategy. There is also grant writing, or to write any types of documents which the agents can be used quite useful. What makes the AI unique? Human first, we already mentioned quite a few times. And after, maybe quickly to address a few concerns or common questions that we usually get. So the first one, I think, is, will it replace jobs, actually? Because it's a kind of ethical question as well we get. I think the idea here is that actually the agents will not replace, it doesn't replace anyone, but it empowers more the staff or anyone using it. So actually it will help you to be more productive. and to deliver more on your own task and not replacing you. The second one is on data. Will it be safe? So this one, we are actually working on it, where we want to ensure data integrity and data ownership, where it will be shared and it will be controlled. And in terms of size, as we said, so it's actually for any type of size of organization. We think it will be quite useful for smaller organizations, but even individuals in big organizations or even big organizations can use it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is the end of the presentation on our side, including the demo. I don't know if there is any question in the chat or if you want to.
There's a chat in the question which is very good. Marta raises the good point, saying, will there be a free and a pro account? We haven't actually thought about this, Marta. Have we, Cedric? I mean, that's a
No, yeah.
that's a really good point. I'm in favor of that. What do you think, Cedric?
Yeah, definitely. So we could have actually, it's a very good point. Because we are quite focused on the tech, like delivering the product that we are not. So the idea we had initially is to have like a very low price point to be affordable for everyone. Another option could be to have actually a free version with the most important features. And after, if some organizations want to pay for additional features, they could actually do this. So
I mean, the difference to us and the commercial organization is that the commercial organization would have thought about that. Indeed, we are just focused on the work output right now. So thanks, Marta. We take that into consideration and we'll credit you with that thought. Chris has asked the question. Chris Produ from our friends at Humentum. Thanks very much for being here. He asked if it's not possible that it could actually replace jobs in larger organization as the agent becomes more sophisticated, but actually increase capacity without replacing staff in smaller NGOs. And I think, Chris, that, and I'd love to hear what you think, Cedric, that is very, very possible. I think that certain tasks of proposal writing, for example, will be better done by the agent in time, particularly by the time you reach the third or fourth proposal, because the agent learns about your organization all the time. And for example, scraping information of donor websites. That will be done by a more sophisticated agent. We're pretty good at that already. We're using that internally at MZN already since some time, and that's getting really, really better over the last 3-4 weeks, I've noticed, in my personal use of the agent, at least. And the potential that excites me the most is that smaller organizations who could never afford a full-time proposal writer or a business development strategy would have suddenly far more scale to do that. And that, I hope really, really advances localization. What do you think, Cedric?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that things actually are moving so rapidly that it's quite difficult to elaborate models or have conclusions. I think one of the theories that we see and one of the reflections is that in terms of for bigger organizations, and we are currently seeing it in some of the big consulting firms, is that you might evolve from a pyramid model, which is a traditional staffing model, into an inverted pyramid model where actually you have less junior staff because you can automate more, but you have more senior staff, and the senior positions actually are delivering are more productive and delivering different outputs. So it's so definitely it will impact, and after it will actually result in some questions. So for instance, if you end up in an inverted pyramid model and you have not so many junior staff, how do you actually hire senior staff for your organization? Because you cannot grow so quickly staff in your organization. So it will definitely change a bit impact the organizations and the staffing, but I'm not sure we will see any kind of big replacement, and simply because the agents deliver like a dummy task, but you need to to give the instructions, and you need someone to actually manage the agent and who has actually the knowledge to be able to understand the outputs and to see what can happen.
Yeah, I slightly disagree actually.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it will replace, as you said, more junior tasks, not necessarily junior, and it's then up for management to not just get rid of people, but actually, focus those people, basically arm them with much smarter tool and get them to do less routine work and more smarter work. And of course, we shouldn't be under illusions. Not everybody will be able to adjust to that. This is more fundamental than the Industrial Revolution, I think.
Interesting.
Stephen, our colleague, asks whether it can be, makes a very good point. Thanks, Stephen, that good grant writing depends on a good theory of change, asking if the AI agents will be able to develop a log frame. Stephen, as you know, you've seen the AI agent drafts from the last few weeks. I found the first theory of changes we've written for our partners pretty unconvincing by ChatGPT, but by the time I've done this for the third or fourth time, it turned out pretty good. But the big problem is that you really can't just copy paste a theory trend. It needs a very senior and good proposal writer such as yourself to actually then go over it. But it's certainly something that speeds up your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the key point on theory of change is that you have, I think, two types of work. One where you have a lot of automation and you spend just time, time on repetitive tasks, and you have also some other type of work where you need a lot of context, you need a lot of inputs, and these are the ones which are more challenging actually to develop. So it's feasible, but you need a different setup and a more complex workflow actually to deliver the one. So we'll see. Yeah. What we are thinking right now is in terms of impact reporting, which can be quite easy, because if you actually start with a theory of change and you want to do the reporting, it's easier to implement.
Yeah, absolutely. Sylvia, hi, nice to see you again. Sylvia asks the question, do you anticipate some ethical concerns related to the agents becoming extremely good at speaking to donor priorities, delivering winning proposals at a level where project delivery potentially cannot match the quality and expectation raised in the proposals? In other words, does the AI agent write proposals that the delivery team cannot deliver? And that will lead to potential harm and donor dissatisfaction. Yes, Sylvia, I completely agree. On the other hand, we have a smallish mid-level organization in East Africa right now that has been using our draft agent to write a proposal. They've won it very gladly in record time. And then they use that proposal to create task lists and milestone plans that really helped the briefing internally of converting the proposal into a milestone plan and into a project plan. And the feedback from our friends in Nairobi were the quality of briefing by the proposal manager or by the person who interacted with the donor to the project team improved. So this is very early doors. I don't know, but so I completely share your concern here. But I'm hoping that that there are management techniques that improve with that as well. Whether that does remains to be seen. Cedric, we're approaching the end of our 45 minutes here. Is there anything else? I don't think there are any more questions. Oh, hang on. There's a question in the general chat. Julian Sharif asked, do you have plans to extend this to grant applicants at an even less capacity than NGOs? Yes, Julian, it does. A very good question. The mission of MZN is to build better nonprofit organizations. The idea is that the ultimate aim of this is whoever has a great idea about impact in their community, they should be able to deploy these agents at a minimalist cost. We are thinking about a cost that is really affordable for hopefully everybody. and that will just help us maintain and update the agent in real term. Internally, our team will be transferring from working directly with our organizations to working via the agent for many, but not all of our partners. So the idea is, yes, that we have a pricing and a technique that makes that possible, Julian. Hopefully that answers your question. Marta has a good question again. Shall we take one more question, Cedric, before we finish?
Yeah, sure.
Marta asks, will the data shared be used for machine learning? No. Also not for a paid account, except for your own agent. So your own subscription with which you log in, we're creating a new website called ai.mzninternational.com that hosts the information in Europe, so GDPR compliant. There's a whole information and terms and telling you where the information is, so that the machine, every source, every proposal, every project plan, your website, Marta, that you are uploading is physically stored in Europe under GDPR. For everybody, GDPR is probably one of the most comprehensive data protection legislations in the world. And it's in your subscription model. Then when you at some point decide not to renew your subscription or not to use the agent, then a series of emails will go to you saying, hey, do you want to continue using it, or shall we delete it? I am at a loss yet, Cedric. I don't know whether it deletes information after 30, 60, 90, or 120 days, but it'll be something in the time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this one I can double check.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Mm.
Does that answer your question, Marta, and concern? Good. She said on the other channel, that's reassuring to know. Yes, and by the way, we've intentionally chosen a physical data location here in Europe in order to benefit of the strongest data protection policy. And also one thing I should say is the agents will not learn from each other. So it's your organizational agents. Very important. Yeah. Okay, we're on the time right now. I think we answered all the questions. If you have any questions that we didn't answer or that you just couldn't think of in this first webinar right now, then please feel free to contact us. Jonathan, do you have any announcements that you would like to share with the group as we proceed into summer?
Not announcement. I think what I would say that I'm encouraging everyone to go and join the waitlist. We already dropped the link. There'll be a survey after this short webinar. Please fill up the survey and give us any feedback that you think will be helpful.
That'll be useful, yes. Yes. Great. In which case, Cedric, thank you so much for running.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Jonathan, thanks so much for organizing this. And I wish you all the best of health, because that is still very much within us and not with some AI agent yet. Yeah.
Very true.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao.